Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Thursday, March 30th, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Atlanta Braves vs Washington Nationals. This is a big mismatch on paper. Atlanta dominated the Nationals last year, winning 14 of the 19 meetings, including 8 of the 10 meetings at Nationals Park. The Braves are a contender in the NL East with their young ace, Max Fried on the hill. He is up against a rebuilding Nationals squad with a veteran starter who has been on the steady decline in Patrick Corbin. Furthermore, Nat starter Patrick Corbin had no answer for the Braves last season, squandering 15 earned runs in 14.1 innings, accompanied by an 0-3 record. Corbin recorded a poor 6.31 ERA last season. The Nationals only won 55 games last year and aren't going to be much better this season. I like the run line as all but 4 of the Braves' wins against the Nationals last season were by 2 or more runs. Our team pick is Atlanta Braves minus 1.5 runs. Typically the bats go cold as the season begins, and I do not see a scenario in which the Washington Nationals are able to score more than 3 runs throughout this game. During spring training, Corbin pitched to a 4.50 ERA, so he should limit the amount of runs given up. This Atlanta Braves lineup should score some runs after leading MLB with an .836 team ops in spring training, but not enough where they are scoring more than 6 runs. This is asking for a run per inning, and typically opening day's offenses are a bit less than normal. The under hit in 5 of the last 6 games against one another, so go with under 8 runs in this game. San Francisco Giants vs New York Yankees. It's the first time since 2019 that these two teams have faced off, and the first at Yankee Stadium since 2016. The Yankees have taken the last 4 meetings and are 5-2 against the Giants in the last 7 games played in the Bronx. Cole has been a pretty strong play on opening day, and he seemed perfectly fine in spring training, so expect a strong start by the New York ace. Another player we expect a hot start from is Giancarlo Stanton, who looks healthy and ready to beat up the Giants once again. In his career, the Yankees slugger has 56 hits, 17 of them home runs, and a .322 average and .718 slugging percentage versus San Francisco. With his bat in play, I really like New York to get plenty of run support for Cole. Our team pick is New York minus 1.5 runs. Last season these two teams were in the top half for offensive production, the Yankees as one of only 2 teams in the majors to score 800 or more runs, while the Giants were 11th with 716 scored. Neither of these offenses lost any of their key components, and for the most part, both added pieces. 4 of the last 6 Yankees opening day games have seen a total of 9 or more runs scored. San Francisco has had 2 of their last 3 opening day games total 8 or more runs. The over has hit 5 times in the last 5 Cole starts on a Thursday. Our total pick is over 7.5 goals. Baltimore Orioles vs Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox come into the season banged up, particularly the team's starting rotation. Paxton, Whitlock, and Bello are all rehabbing at the moment, and Boston will benefit from days off to start the year. Newcomer Kluber has a solid track record both in the month of April and versus the Orioles. Boston is 5-5 in its last 10 opening day games, including 1-1 versus the Orioles. The Orioles have also lost 3 of their last 4 opening day games. At home, the Red Sox have been a stronger team at home. Even with last year's last place finish, Boston was 43-38 at Fenway Park, including 6-4 against the Orioles. Kluber is also 4-1 with an ERA of 3.53 and 7 career starts at Fenway Park. I like the Red Sox to respond well to a packed house on opening day at home. Take Boston with the money line. Neither starter inspires much confidence that they can lock down either lineup, and I expect the runs to come in bunches in the middle innings. Opening day is usually chaotic and as unpredictable as a baseball game can be. With this matchup and the injuries that both teams are facing, I am counting on the chaos. The Red Sox have averaged a total of 10.5 runs on opening day in their last 4 seasons, and the Orioles have totaled at least 10 runs in 2 of their last 4 years. Take the over 9 points. Milwaukee Brewers vs Chicago Cubs. Not only do I really like some of the moves that Chicago made during the offseason, but I am also a fan of how the Cubs played down the stretch of the 2022 campaign. They won 12 of their final 15 games to generate some positive momentum, including 6 straight at Wrigley Field. Milwaukee was trending in the opposite direction to close the season, blowing its NL Central lead. Chicago has won 4 of the last 5 games between these teams at Wrigley, and it made better offseason moves. I am also concerned about a potential letdown start for Burns due to the bad blood that he has with his organization. Our team pick is Chicago plus 1.5 runs. Milwaukee is desperate to get off to a fresh start following a disappointing finish to the 2022 campaign. The Brewers led the NL Central by 3 games when they traded star closer Josh Hader on August 1 last year, proceeding to go 29-31 to finish with an 86-76 record that was not good enough for a spot in the playoffs. They relied on their pitching to win games throughout the season, allowing opponents to hit .229, which was the 3rd lowest mark in the majors. Their offense needs more from former All-Star Christian Yelich, who has hit a combined .243 over the past 3 seasons. Chicago is eager to get off to a fresh start as well after suffering its 2nd consecutive losing season, although it was more competitive than its disastrous 2021 campaign. The Cubs fared well against Milwaukee, going 10-9 overall and 6-4 at home. They are replacing star catcher Wilson Contreras, who was traded to the St. Louis Cardinals. All-star outfielder Ian Happ is back after setting career highs in RBI 72, doubles 42, and batting average .271, winning his first Gold Glove defensively as well. Second baseman Nico Horner hit 10 home runs and drove in 55 runs as a key member of the lineup. Our total pick is over. Detroit Tigers vs Tampa Bay Rays. The Tigers are 1-5 in the last 6 meetings between these teams. Tampa Bay will start the new season on a high note, beating Detroit by 4 runs. The Rays will expose Rodriguez the 2nd time around the order and put the game away against the Tigers' inadequate bullpen. McClanahan ranked 3rd in WHIP, .926, and 8th in K9, 10.5, among qualified pitchers last season, and he'll be out to prove it wasn't a fluke on Thursday. The Tigers, who hit the fewest home runs and scored the fewest runs in baseball last season, will prove no match. After 6 2/3 innings, the Rays' lights-out bullpen will carry the torch until the final out is recorded. Our team pick is Tampa Bay minus 1.5 runs. Detroit went over the run line or pushed in 5 of their 7 games against Tampa Bay last season. The 2 teams went over the point total in 2 of the 3 games played at Tropicana Field, scoring 16 total runs in those 2 games. Despite Detroit's offensive struggles last season, they did hit left-handers much better than right-handers last season, .264 BA versus left-handers, .219 BA versus right-handers, and they did touch up McClanahan for 6 runs in a game last year. Tampa Bay scored more runs at home than they did away in 2002, 4.15 average runs per game at home versus 3.99 on the road. Look for Tampa Bay to be locked in offensively for the home opener and for Detroit to get to lefty McClanahan for a few runs of their own. Look for this game to go over the run total. Philadelphia Phillies vs Texas Rangers. I'll go ahead and play the underdog with the Phillies in this opening day tilt in Arlington. Personally, I think the Rangers are only favored in this one due to the name recognition that comes with Jacob deGrom. However, after only making 2 starts for 6.2 innings in spring, but that doesn't mean much if the right-hander only goes a few innings. After deGrom gets done, they'll hand it over to what Fangraphs predicts to be the 23rd ranked bullpen in the league. This is when you can expect the deep Philadelphia lineup to tee off. Even with the injuries to Hoskins and Harper, you still have plenty of star power in Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos, Alec Boehm, Trey Turner, and JT Realmuto. Look for this offense to go to work after the first time through the lineup. Our team pick is Philadelphia Phillies money line. The odds makers set the total at just 6.5 runs for this opening day matchup. Once again, I lean toward this line holding up solely based on the name recognition that comes with deGrom and Nola. However, once you dive into the head-to-head matchups, you see that Texas is 4-12, .333, against Nola with 4 base knocks. While those aren't otherworldly numbers, it proves that Nola has been touchable by this Texas roster. Furthermore, as I mentioned above, the Rangers' bullpen isn't going to be much of a threat this year. Assuming Degram has a shorter day on the bump, look for Philadelphia's offense to go to work later in this game. Let's lock in the over in a game that sees plenty of star hitters, especially since it's set at just 6.5 runs. Our total pick is over 6.5 goals. Pittsburgh Pirates vs Cincinnati Reds. We're not looking at offensive powerhouses with either of these lineups when you get right down to it. There are a lot of holes in both lineups, especially with Votto starting the year on the Illinois for the Reds. Keller pitched better in the second half of last season, though it didn't show up in the individual statistics as far as wins go. With that said, he has had nightmares pitching in Cincinnati in his career, and it's unclear if the Pirates will provide much in the way of run support. The Reds have their own issues, but we saw Green pitch very well against the Pirates in his 2 outings against them last season. Playing at home to start the season is a rite of passage for Cincinnati, and with Green turning in a solid outing, you have to give them the upper hand in this one. Our team pick is Cincinnati Reds. Cincinnati finished tied for 4th with the Pirates last season in the NL Central, losing 100 games in a season for the first time since 1982. The Reds were 15-14 in spring training, putting them in the middle of the pack in the Cactus League standings. Cincinnati added outfielder Will Myers, catchers Kurt Casale and Luke Maile, along with pitcher Luke Weaver, via free agency. The Reds also brought in Kevin Newman and Nick Solak via trade to try and plug holes in the lineup. Mike Minor was bought out while Mike Moustakas, released, Tucker Barnhart, signed with Cubs, Kyle Farmer, traded, and Aristides Aquino, non-tendered, all are gone as well. In addition, Weaver, Lucas Sims and Joey Votto will all start the year on the Illinois, causing more issues for the team as the season gets underway. Hunter Green takes the hill on opening day for the Reds, hoping to miss a few more bats instead of hitting barrels this season. He made 24 starts last season for Cincinnati as a rookie, posting a 5-13 record with a 4.44 ERA, a 1.21 WHIP, 48 walks and 164 strikeouts, though he did allow 24 home runs in 125.2 innings of work. In addition, he missed 6 weeks in the second half of the season with a shoulder strain. Green logs his 3rd career start against the Pirates in this contest, hoping for a little run support. He is 0-1 despite a 0.68 ERA, a 0.90 WHIP, 8 walks and 19 strikeouts, over 13.1 innings of work against them in his career. Green is 3-6 with a 4.70 ERA, a 1.281 WHIP, 24 walks and 68 strikeouts over 59.1 innings in 11 career starts at the Great American Ballpark. Taking the under in this game for a couple of reasons. The total being 8.5 for these teams to start the season, considering the caliber of each team, already feels too high. This is affirmed when looking at their trends from last season, as well as their starting pitchers' trends. For the Pirates, the under is 4-0-1 in their past 5 games when the total is set over 8, and for the Reds, oddly enough they have gone under in their past 5 Thursday games. For their pitchers, Keller has gone under in his past 5 starts overall, and in the past 5 starts where the total. Our total pick is under 8.5 runs. Colorado Rockies vs San Diego Padres. There is more value in the run line here than the money line. The Padres have been excellent at home, particularly starting pitcher Snell. While the Padres went just 9-10 against the Rockies last season, they went 6-3 against Colorado and San Diego. In addition, the Padres outscored the Rockies 47-27 in San Diego last season. The Rockies did little to supplement their roster this offseason and will be missing second baseman Rogers. Expect the Padres' powerful lineup to put up good numbers against the Rockies' suspect pitching staff. In addition, the Padres have won 5 of their last 6 opening day games. Take the Padres with a run line. Colorado manager Bud Black is high on his team's bullpen this season, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say the Rockies will have a better ERA than they did last season. Even Marquez should improve, considering he was an all-star in 2021. Marquez was downright awful at Coors Field last year, but he had a 3.43 ERA on the road. Hopefully, we'll even see these arms on full display on opening day to keep the Padres' offense in check if that's even possible. Perhaps the most concerning statistic for Colorado in 2022 was their offense on the road. They averaged an MLB worst 2.99 runs per game and hit just .225 away from Coors Field last season. Petco probably isn't where the Rockies want to start the 2023 season. I'll take the under, with Colorado sputtering out of the gate offensively.